The peace deal that changed America. Intro. The Hook. Imagine the American story, starting not with muskets at dawn or parchment in a stuffy hall, but with a quiet handshake by the Delaware River, while the rest of the continent slid toward war. A handful of pacifist Quakers and the Lenape Nation cut a deal so solid it held for 70 years. That S, not a footnote, that S, the what-if treaty that could have reshaped the whole country. Section 1. The world they walked into. Let S set the scene. 1674. Europe. S. Religious wars have hounded Quakers out of England, so they cram onto ships, praying for one place they can pray in peace. Meanwhile, 3 Lenape clans, about 10,000 farmers, traders, and seasoned negotiators already hold the land between the Hudson and the Delaware. They aren't the cartoon warriors later textbooks served up. They've already handled the Swedes and the Dutch without firing a shot. Into that delicate balance steps 30-year-old Edward Belinge, a broke brewer who has just been handed the deed to half of New Jersey by none other than William Penn. Belinge isn't looking for a fight, he's looking for a haven, and he's ready to pay for every single acre twice. Once to the Crown's pencil pushers and again to the Lenape themselves. Section 2. Why fair purchase was revolutionary. Most colonies measured land in musket range. The West Jersey concessions of 1677 said something wild. No land shall be taken up but by fair purchase. Quakers meant it. When settler William Bates tried to squat on Lenape cornfields in 1678, the West Jersey Assembly confiscated his cattle and shipped him back to England. Word traveled fast. By 1680, Lenape leaders like Occonecan and Tamanind are sitting in plain, silent Quaker meeting houses, translating treaties line by line into Unami, while clerks scribble everything 3 times over. Every deal ends the same way, a wampum belt for a silver chain. 2 cultures, 1 symbol, an agreement neither side could tear up on a whim. Section 3. The document nobody reads in school. The 1682-1683 Articles of Agreement clocks in at just 1,200 words, but it packs 3 clauses that would have sounded insane in Virginia or Massachusetts. Any colonist versus native dispute goes to a joint council. 6 Quakers, 6 Lenape sectums. No planting, hunting, or even timber cutting beyond the Indian line, without written okay from both sides. Either group can call a full sit-down within 7 days by sending a runner with a painted stick. Colonial-era slack. Anyone. The treaty held so well that by 1720, Philadelphia papers called the border zone the quietest stretch in America. Section 4. Life on the edge of peace. Peace isn't the same as bliss. Quaker diaries grumble about Lenape hunters chasing deer through wheat fields. Lenape stories grumble about colonists' hogs wrecking clam beds. But violence stayed personal, not political. Take 1695. A drunken brawl leaves a Lenape man dead and a Quaker miller wounded. Both sides meet under the Shakamaxon oak. The miller's family hands over blankets and iron kettles. The Lenape present a string of white wampum for sorrow. No raids, no revenge cycles. Compare that to Bacon's rebellion, lighting up Virginia the same year whole villages torched, Jamestown burned, hundreds dead. Section 5. The hidden cost of being good. Here's the sting. Even fair play still speeds up Lenape dispossession just on the slow track. Fair purchase means every acre has a price, and prices rise. By 1702, Quaker merchants are flipping deeds to non-Quaker speculators who've never heard of pacifism. The Lenape protest. In 1703, Chief McMaquan strides into the West Jersey proprietor's office and lays the original 1680 wampum belt on the table. The land remembers this promise, he says. The proprietors push the settlers back 1 mile. It's the last major concession. After that, the trickle turns into a torrent. German and Scots-Irish newcomers who never signed a thing. The belt goes into storage. The chain stays shiny, but the forest keeps shrinking. Section 6. Why it fell apart. The peace doesn't collapse with a battle, it collapses with a census. By the 1740s, colonists outnumber Lenape 10 to 1. Quakers are now a minority in their own assembly and can't steer land policy any longer. The walking purchase of 1737, technically in Pennsylvania, sends shockwaves south. The Lenape realize pacifism only works when both sides show up. Many pack up and head westsome to the Susquehanna, others all the way to Ohio. By 1755, the last Lenape town inside the old Indian line is empty. The Shakamaksan oak is tavern floorboards. Section 7. The legacy we never talk about. Still, something stuck. During the Revolution, pacifist Quakers won't pay war taxes. Congress takes their land but can't wipe the memory of 70 years of coexistence. The Treaty of Easton in 1758 borrows whole phrases from the 1680 Articles. Even the U.S. Constitution nods to the Joint Council idea with the Commerce Clause. Congress alone handles trade with tribes. The same centralized diplomacy the Quaker Lenape setup pioneered. We just don't teach it that way. Mid-roll CTA. If this is brand new to you, you're in good company. Hit subscribe so more buried stories like this one can see daylight. History isn't just what happened, it's what we bother to remember and forget. Asterisk. Section 8. Could it have been different? Picture an alternate 1776 where the Quaker Lenape model, not conquest, is the norm. Frontier growth happens through purchase, joint councils, bilingual schools, slow, sure, but without the Trail of Tears or Little Bighorn. Crazy, maybe, but for 70 years, in one patch of the continent, it worked. The tragedy isn't only that the peace crumbled, it's that when it did, almost nobody outside the Delaware Valley realized what they'd lost. Section 9. Walking the ground today you can still follow the old Indian line, take exit 4 off the New Jersey Turnpike, then County Route 537 west. The road slices through cranberry bogs that once hosted Lenape summer camps. Plain red brick Quaker meeting houses pop up at every other crossroads. In Mount Holly, the original 1680 treaty sits in a climate-controlled vault. The wampum belt next to it beads faded, but not broken. Ask politely, and the curator will let you hold the belt gloves on, of course. No guard, no velvet rope, just a strip of woven shell and a promise we couldn't keep. Conclusion: why this matters. Now, we like to think America's story starts with muskets and manifest destiny. The Quakers and the Lenape whisper a quieter truth. Coexistence worked written in wampum and silver, not gunpowder. The peace deal that changed America isn't the one we recite in classrooms, it's the one we forgot. And every time we redraw someone else's border or shrug off a treaty clause we find pesky. We repeat the past instead of learning from the only part of it that actually worked. Remember the belt, remember the chain, and maybe just maybe next time we hold the line. End card CTA. If you want more stories that flip the history textbook inside out, smash that subscribe button and drop a comment. What other forgotten deals should we dig up next?